Okay, so here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time from the jungle. Now, the bad news is, I wanted to record this live, but OBS said my microphone was recording, but when I looked at the video afterwards, it was not. So anyway, we are going as Fiddlesticks in the jungle. So, with my team hovering Zed and Jax, I realized we need AP. I don't know when I did a Fiddlesticks game, but Diana and Eve, they've been on the channel fairly recently, and right there you got to see the page I'm running. Enemy jungler will be Vi, so stand by on that. Now, there's a few things I did want to explain, so this is not necessarily a bad thing. With the changes to the support items, I realized, yeah, probably every jungler will build those, but it looks like Riot preempted that by making jungle items and support items exclusive. You either build one or the other. As for supports, I really don't like the change because I found a lot of use in popping Shurelya's for movement speed or using the Spooky Ghost to find people or catch someone out. You got to see me use it quite a bit in the Zyra games, so you can tell I'm going to miss those. And I'll admit the Targon's had its uses too. So here's the page. Arcane Comet is my keystone, Ultimate Hat for more Crowstorms, Celerity so I get some damage off my passive, Gathering Storm for late game insurance, Perfect Timing for the Zhonya's. Well, Perfect Timing is twofold. It gives you the 600 gold stopwatch, but it also reduces the cooldown on Zhonya's, which is why I want it primarily. Zhonya's is so important on Fiddlesticks, you really do want to lower the cooldown if you can. And now, final thing is Magical Footwear, because it makes your boot upgrades cheaper and it gives you more movement speed so you can run people down with your Crowstorm, and you'll see what I mean with some clutch plays. Anyway, that's Kench top, Katarina mid, in case you're wondering. And right here, I think I was talking a whole lot of smack about Zed. The Zed is going to be a train wreck. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, with the changes to lethality, I don't see the point in going AD Assassin mid anymore. I've tried to talk about this. I don't know if I've done a Nocturne video anytime recently, but even for Nocturne, I've started building him crit Nocturne because the lethality just sucks, and the Blood Razor can't quite cut it. So that's what I've been going for. Anyway, right here I was talking about keystones. We have a double sorcery enemy bot lane. Our Vayne is running Fleet Footwork. At least I think that's Fleet Footwork. That's what it looks like from here, which would make sense for Thresh because she doesn't have any sustain from him other than potentially Targon's if he goes for it. So I can respect that. Zed is running Ignite. Something, we have 5 skins, they don't. 20-minute win, GG, no re. And Kench is running Grasp of the Undying. Jaximus is running Press the Attack, that's normal for them. Vi is running Electrocute. I've mentioned before that, like, Press the Attack is generally better, but to get the absolute most out of it, you need your team to respond. And if you are playing solo queue, getting them to respond is like trying to get blood from a stone. So more often than not, Electrocute is generally better. Like, it's... Well, to put it into context, Electrocute is going to be very, very good if you have a squishy team like we do. But if you're up against a tankier team, Press the Attack is going to do more for you because it's more sustained damage. And in case you're wondering about that loading screen, it took 4 frickin' minutes. So yes, I cut out most of that for you, so you didn't have to sit there and stare. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, I've been looking at who I'm going to be playing for the coming season. I don't know if I mentioned this in an earlier video. Blind picks for top lane are going to be Gnar and Urgot. If I need a tank, San, Malphite are the 2 primary candidates. For AP, Kennen is number 1. I don't know what Swain's going to look like after his rework, so I can't comment there. But Lissandra is a potential number 2 for me. I may look into Rise, I don't know. And for the mid lane, primary is going to be Malzahar. He's supposed to be getting some more nerfs because he's really, really overplayed these days. Number 2 is Victor, who looks pretty good with the Q buff that's coming his way. Number 3 would be Vel'Koz, number 4 Veigar. And then 5 maybe Lux. I want to play her in a flex Q game or something to get a feel for how she actually works. Like she and Victor are the 2 losers who I'd say are going to blues from the mana flow ban change. Overall, I do not really like. I can't say anything bad about the change. It kind of is necessary, and it's not as bad as I was expecting, so there is that. But otherwise, there may be Lux, there may not, we'll see. So anyway, for Fiddlesticks, I'm running Celerity. If you don't know how his passive works, when you stand still for a moment, you can, well, you get a surge of movement when you next move. So I'm using that to get an extra couple points of AP for Celerity. And that will help you a little bit. Like right here, I'm not doing it, and I called myself out when doing this live, but I forgot what exactly distracted me. You'll see me do it for other camps, though. Q is Terrify. You target an enemy, you send them running in terror, no damage. It's like 2¼ seconds at max rank. W is Drain, Fiddle's signature move, where you basically do as the name implies, you drain. I'll be coming back for the other camps, don't worry. I was low on mana here. I realized if I went for one of the other camps, I'm not going to be able to clear this, so I wanted to get this and then go back. I'm trying to power farm to 6, which is not going to go as I'd hoped, as you'll see with a skirmish in the top lane shortly. So anyway, Drain, you deal some damage. It's a tether, so that means Vlad and Fizz cannot escape it with their troll moves. And, well, he heals for like 60% of the damage he'd take. Right here I was trying to say, when I could actually build Frost Queens, I'm not doing that here, but what I would do is, for Fiddle, I would start with Talisman and Fairy Charm, and the Fairy Charm I'd turn into Frostfang. So basically I would skip the initial Spell Thief. And that was pretty much part of my Fiddle build, and just due to the changes coming, you can't do that anymore, so I'm not even trying. Going back to the refillable. So, next order of business. Your E is Dark Wind. You throw out your crow, it bounces around, it silences everything that comes into contact on the first hit. It will prioritize returning to targets you are currently draining. And you'll see me do some fun stuff with that one this game. I'm not going to spoil it, but some of these are, like, I would be utterly furious if someone did those to me.
An ally has been slain.
So right here we're keeping Vi CC'd, we force her flash, and basically her whole little gank plan did not go the way she hoped it would. And here you're going to see something you don't see every day, and that is a Fiddlesticks invade. So right there I stole it with the Dark Wind. Kent showed up, but like, if he's over here, he's just going to lose minions to the tower. He literally can't afford to be here. And I'm just going to sit here and stir up trouble. So I'm going to keep giving Vi the bird. And I'm basically stealing her jungle farm. She's losing health. She's not even getting EXP while here. This is like one of the worst case scenarios Vi can find herself in. And right here I think she finally gave up. Now in case you're wondering, we are going to tower dive Kench. This early in the game, no one actually has anything to make this succeed or fail, so, like right here I'm going to tank it since I can drain. So the only thing that we really have go our favor is we force him out of lane, and I'm hoping that'll give Jax an edge, and he'd actually do something. So, hindsight I can say I was wasting my time here. But anyway, you now know how Dark Wind works. I'm going for the Blue Smite first. The reason for that is that will allow me to activate the Kindle effect from the Talisman. Basically, you need extra health or to finish the item in order to get it, and like Riot is saying the AP junglers need help. I don't really give a damn about 20 points of damage on the Runic Echoes. What I want is that freaking medallion to actually be worth a damn. Like, it's good for tanks, but for the AP guys, Fiddle and Eve are really the only two that come to mind. You actually don't benefit from taking it as much. But I don't think Riot plays either of those characters. So anyway, to finish off how Fiddle works, your ult is Crowstorm. You channel for a moment, then you blink a short distance away, and you unleash hell. That's the single best way to describe it. It is one of the nastiest moves in the game, and you can turn team fights around just by jumping in with it. It is seriously devastating. Now, right there is picking out the EXP bar because they're saying, like, hey, Fiddle, why don't you come do yada yada yada, and dude, I don't even have Crowstorm yet, so I don't even have the majority of my power. I'm fighting at best like at 30%. Yes, Crowstorm is that powerful. And like right here I'm thinking if someone's out of position, maybe we can do something. If Vi is coming down, we can do something, but that's not happening. Now, in case you're wondering, Vi just took her blue, she's on her way to my red, and here is the first of the Dark Wind hijinks you're going to see this game. So here's the second channel of Drain. Turning my Crowstorm off Smartcast. Vi missed her Q, so I use Dark Wind to silence her. It bounces off her and the red buff, and then once it gets low enough, I smite it in and walk away. And then to add insult to injury, I'm going to go ahead and proc red buff on her. And she doesn't have to go back, it's just she has to be a little bit safer in her clear. She may have to smite something in case she wanted to hold on to it. Now, unfortunately, right here I was hoping to siphon off a little bit of EXP to hit level 6, but then Thrush throws his lantern and they know I'm here. He completely ruined the element of surprise. So here I'm a little disappointed, but I'll live. Can't quite say the same for them. And right here I want to pick up another Amp Tome. So, let's see, what else was I trying to talk about? In terms of jungle, I'm going to be playing all sorts of random stuff. Well, not quite random, but you'll be seeing Crit Nocturne if I end up playing him, because he's in kind of a bad spot right now. Worse than he has been for a while. Skarner recently got buffed, so he's going to be on the rise for my play. I don't know if I'm going to make Fiddle my primary AP jungler or not, because it's between him and Diana. And that reminds me of the next thing I wanted to talk about. So if you haven't been following the custom skin scene, in order to finally crush them, what Riot's doing is they're assimilating these skins into the system files, as in the game will actually not run if you try to have a custom skin in place. They've already done this to Nasus, and as a result I can no longer use my Blue Lantern Nasus skin. And I imagine, since there's like 140 characters now, they're just going to go down the line. They will keep doing more and more, and eventually they will get all the characters. It'll take a while for them to get the guys who they forgot existed, like Fiddlesticks, I imagine, but unless someone comes up with a workaround, that's probably it for the custom skin scene. So here's a beauty. So Jax, wait for it. Well, otherwise I said the exact same thing about Zed that Jax did. Could have went in. Yeah, right. In case you're wondering what would happen if I went in, either I fear Kench and then Vi kills me, or I fear Vi, Kench eats her, and then they're gone. So right here, there's no Kench. So Vi dies. Like, one of the things that annoys the hell out of me in these games is your teammates are more than eager to give you bad advice, and you have to realize, okay, I should just ignore this guy. So anyway, Zed should have rushed Hexdrinker. Since he doesn't, he's going to be feeding for most of the game. So right here I silence Cat to stop her moving, I fear her so that we can lay into her. Right here we force her stopwatch, and I'm good to just walk away. So, the good news is we got the shutdown on Cat. The bad news is that did reset Zed's gold value, so he can be killed for full points now. So right here she's making the right call by rushing Zhonya's. Zed should be rushing Maw, if not just Hexdrinker. And it'd just be a whole lot of pressure from her off of him, but he's not one of those guys. He's just saying, oh, I need my damage. I don't need to play any sort of smart game, any sort of defense. I know I'm feeding, but I'll turn around. Wink, wink. And in case you're wondering, it doesn't get any better until I just say, okay, Zed, you died 6 times already. Where the fuck is your Hexdrinker? So, in case you're wondering how that's going to play out, yeah. Now the good news is right here I do have the full Runic Echo. I can go ahead and pick up the Lucid Boots. And I now have an Amp Tome, which is going to become part of the Zonia's Hourglass. Those are the 3 core items for Fiddlesticks. Once you have those, you are pretty much golden. Anything else you get is just, like, accessories.
An ally has been
So remember, I am running Ultimate Hat. As such, every time I use Crowstorm, the cooldown gets shorter until we hit a certain point. And that's important because if you look on the minimap, there's Morg, there's Vi. So right here I tried to silence him so Thrush could get away, but he got lucky, I'll put it that way. And right here I'm contemplating, do I want to Crowstorm onto Kench, but it's not worth it. Instead I will throw out a Dark Wind so we can clear this wave. I did manage to hit Misfortune. Overall it doesn't really matter because she could go back, but if you look on the minimap, what's this in the Dragon Pit? If only I had some sort of massive AoE ult that could turn things around, you know. So right here I'm waiting for 2,000 hit points. Once it's below that, I need to go in, bounce my Dark Wind to stop Vi, Smite secure it. I don't know what exactly it was that killed Morgana there, but she went down to me. Misfortune ended up going down to Zed. I was kind of hoping that they could have picked off, I think that was Vi right there.
an ally has been slain.
But still, Zed went down. Overall, that was still very much worth it because it's pressure off Jax. We got another kill for Zed, and most importantly, we actually got the Earth Dragon. So in case you're wondering, there are certain guys you do have to watch out for because it's very hard to smite when they're present. Fiddlesticks is one of those because he can CC you one of 2 ways, and then he's going to take your dragon. So you saw me do this the first time at the red buff, and then I did it again right there in the Dragon Pit, and that was the second of the Darkwind hijinks. It did get me killed, but like I said, it doesn't get more worth it than that. So now the bad news is Jax is losing top lane, Zed is losing mid lane. As a result, there is just no grasp on the top side of the map. My blue buff is going to be pretty much permanently forfeit, and like my hands are tied. Until my team decides to bend over and pull their heads out of their asses, I can't do much.
An ally has been slain.
So if you look down the minimap right there, Vi went to steal blue. And since I can't really do anything to stop it, the least I can do is try to absorb some of the lane minions. This will in turn give me gold, and you can see I did a number on Cat, a lot more than I think either of us were really expecting. And even if I don't necessarily secure the last hit, the important thing is I'm still getting the EXP. So I will use the Dark Wind to guarantee that I get the cannon. And right here, I know Cat's coming in here.
An enemy has been slain.
I thought she was going to keep moving, though. So, I have to take care of her, and I thought Vi already left, but she's actually right here. So the important thing is I did get her ult. And I thought I would heal more, but I don't. So Jack shows up, but too little too late, and even if he did, I mean, he's not going to do anything. Kench can just ult in from wherever the hell he is, and that's that. We pretty much lose the fight. So right around here is when I realized, okay, this should count as boosting in my opinion, based on how this is going to play out, but it's not quite how League rules work. So right here is one of the worst heralds I've seen in a long time. I legitimately do not know why they used it there and then. They got literally nothing for it. And if you didn't see, Jax took the herald when I took the Earth Dragon. So much died in such a short window you may not have seen it. So right here is when the CC comes into play against Kench. I'm silencing him, Jax is going to stun him, then I'm going to fear him, and as a result he is unable to use his E. So without getting that second shield, he's not as valuable. And poor Misfortune gains silenced a quarter of a second into bullet time. So right there I feared and smited Cat to try to get Vayne to safety, but Cat flashed. And right here I'm just trying to clear the wave. Jax messes up royally here. He eats the Dark Binding with his face. So right here I bounce that around. And there's really nothing I can do to save myself here, but I managed to take Vi with me.
You have slain an enemy.
Basically I drained her and I did hit her with Dark Wind while she was using her ult, so regardless of how the tower played out, it was guaranteed not to be an execute. Best I could have hoped for, I think, would have been just trying to take one of them with. And right here's what I'm saying, okay Zed, seriously. If you ever find yourself in that sort of position, do not be like the Zed. First item, get your freaking Hex Drinker, and if you're in the other position, you're the AP against the AD, like... Well, the best example I can give you is the Victor game I uploaded against Fizz. So that works for any assassin in the game. With the way the mana flow band works is you can afford to delay any sort of AP item and you want to get Zhonya's. Get that first and it's just so much of their kill pressure completely gone. You can deny Zed's Death Mark, Katarina's Death Lotus, Fizz's Churn the Waters, I forgot exactly what it's called, his ult though. But for some reason, people do not want to do the smart thing. They like doing the stupid thing. So right there we give Vi the bird. Unfortunately, it's not likely I'm going to be able to hit her with the Comet itself. Even then, I don't think the Comet really does that much damage. It's more of an annoyance. Probably means more when you're in lane, but we're not. So right there we get some vision. And we're kind of split right now, which is why you have to be extremely careful with how we go into this. I was kind of hoping, hey, push this into mid, force them to come here, and then we could try to group up and then go in, but no, that's not how this team wants to do it.
An ally has been slain.
And right here is when I just say, screw it, I do not want to boost these guys. So she has the full Zhonya's. Zed steals the kill, and that's going to be a common theme, unfortunately, where he uses his passive to get the last hit. And I don't know what Jax was doing there. So right there, dodged the Dark Binding. Tormented Soil isn't really that bad. Now I'm hiding behind Jax because I want him to take the Dark Binding. I do not value his life.
Ally has been slain.
At this point I realize, okay, the only way I'm winning this game is if I carry these guys. So right here I use my Zhonya's, and you're going to see some crazy Fiddle stuff here. So Vi went in. I'm drained to keep going. She goes down to tower. I have my potions taken, I'm draining Kench, we're pulling him back into the tower. And yeah. So after all that, I got enough health back to where, hey, we can go do Dragon after all. So I didn't want to go in on this without reinforcements because of Cat. I can't kill her, but I can fear her or silence her if she does come in. So she wisely decides to turn around. Jax gets the last hit on the dragon, which is all well and good. We still get the Infernal regardless. And overall, things are looking up, but sadly, like I said, I'm doing more than my fair share. And that annoys the hell out of me. Especially when we have someone like the Zed. So anyway, right here we can go back. Right, I have Crowstorm up. So watch this. She black shields Misfortune. Like, well, wait for it. Stun, silence, you're not going anywhere, Emma. Good night. So in case you're wondering what happened there, Morgana tried to be a buddy and protect the Misfortune, and she didn't realize it was a lot easier for us to turn on her than it was to continue sticking to the MF. Like, one of the things that people try to emphasize when Morgana is present on the field or when someone has a QSS is just go after someone else. That's literally it. As soon as that as soon as the black shield was out on Misfortune, there was literally nothing Morgana could do to save her life anymore. She was completely dead to rights. So right here I'm just trying to push this in. And we're going to run into Vi. So right there we got a Runic Echo proc, I believe, and then we also got to lob the Comet, but like I said, she should be moving fast enough to where the Comet will not actually do anything serious. So right there I'm moving for this Celerity boost. It's only like 6 AP, but every little bit helps. And right here, I was wondering, do I want to go back and get an elixir? Is something coming up, like a Baron fight or something? Like, Crowstorm is coming up, we don't know where they are. This is like one of those situations where you know a team fight's going to break out somewhere. You just don't know where or when yet. So you give by the bird. Apparently I killed a wolf or something right there. And I was thinking they were going to round the corner there. In the end, they don't. So here comes the fight. So I want to throw my Dark Wind. I wanted Vayne to take that because I'm a little bit more dangerous further behind, but nope. So Vi goes in on me, she eats a Condemn and goes down. So here comes the next Dark Wind hijinks. There's the Black Shield, but who cares? So I tank tower for them because I can just go in the jungle and heal, as you're about to see. And right there I stopped them from casting their spells, and like Zhonya's was punished. That's all there was to it. We have a wave largely intact, and we're able to just go keep pressuring mid. So right here is the one that's a little heartbreaking. So I want to silence Vi, but they burst her down before my Dark Wind can get in there.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And while that was going on, Jax finally got the top outer. So right there I did want to turn around and go on Cat, but I didn't cancel the recall in time. So you can see she goes down, and basically the enemy team is in free-fall mode. They're basically coming at my team one at a time, which is where Vayne excels, and you can see she's just racking up kill after kill. Problem is, she does go down in the end, since she's not invincible or anything. Down goes Zed. Right here I want to try to rescue him, but he got slowed by Kench, so he's not getting out of it. That's all there is to it. Now I was hoping Vi would come out, but it looks like she and Kench hopped in and sped off, so oh well. Thing is, while they died, Jax did get another tower top. So it's not a complete loss, but it is still undesirable. So right there I'm dropping a ward to replace the ones that are about to time out. And I basically want to try to secure the area, but there's no crab and I don't have any more wards to drop, so best thing I can do is go back and buy a blasting wand. As for what this would become, I could go for the Void Staff. I was wondering, does Kench have any MR yet? Because he'd be the one I'd want to use this on. And he has boots, but that's kind of it. Misfortune does have a QSS, though. Vi has a Hex Drinker, so the best course of action for me, I'd say, would have either been turn that into a Leandries or Rylai's. Now, with the mid inhibitor down, it's pretty obvious this is not contested. I'm not entirely sure why they were pinging Baron, since if we really wanted to, we could have just did one then the other, and you'd want to do Dragon first for the additional stats. Basically, that would be another something like 3 or 4% AD AP for us. So right here, I'm just trying to keep Morgana out of the fight. If you notice, I got her to burn her black shield, so that means if anything else happens up here, she does not have it. And here is the tilter for Kench. I feel so bad for this guy. So right here, we're trying to CC him to force him to use his E. And now he does. So, we just CC him one last time, his shield goes away, Zed autos him, and down he goes. So yes, Zed literally waited for us to whittle him down, then walked in there and autoed him once for the kill. And here's the end of the game. So I don't make it in time for Misfortune, but more cannot withstand the Crowstorm. So Fiddlesticks, and one where I had to do more than my fair share. Check out my kill participation rate. Now the good news is I do get compensated for this. If you're wondering how so, well, wait for it. As for the person I honor here, it'd either be Thresh or Vayne. Like, the solo lanes do not deserve it. And I end up giving it to Vayne because I felt she deserved it a little bit more than the Thresh did. But there we go, Mastery 7 token. So right here, that new event is in place. I just have to get one more win with one of those trees, and then, hey, I get some blue essence. In terms of damage, Zed ended up dealing the most somehow, but don't forget he fed for like the first half of the game. I ended up taking the most damage as the squishy jungler, go figure, but like you saw me fight under tower, I had some tricks up my sleeve, and I'll leave it at that. So, order of business, that was my third Fiddle shard. So I've been sitting on that Fiddle, well, my third token, I've been sitting on that Fiddle shard for a long time, and at long last, Mastery 7 Fiddlesticks. So, that's it folks, I'm the Hero of Light, thanks for watching, and goodbye.